What's up, everybody? Man, it's beautiful out here today. It's Saturday, very crisp morning, so I'm bundled up a little bit out here on my walk, but something I wanted to share with you today is something you guys can probably all relate to at some point. If you're a parent, it's a little bit easier because you get to see this in an extreme case with children, but in our own lives as adults even, this is something that sort of plagues people, and I use that lightly because it really can affect not only everything that you do in your day and in your life, but it affects everybody around you. And so this is such a big deal that I had to say something about this because I've gone over this with my kids. And this is, like I said, the most extreme cases in children because they're very emotional and they react and don't always think logically. But what we're talking about today is negative effort, right? And what this means is putting more effort into doing something to get out of doing something than what it would take to just do the thing in the first place. So, for example, showering. Children do not like to shower for whatever reason and will spend astronomical amounts of energy to throw fits and tell you I don't want to and crawl up the stairs or whatever it may be to avoid having to just take the shower. And the mind-blowing thing is that even with all this effort put out to avoid the thing, you still have to do the thing. You still have to take that shower. So at the end of the day, realizing that most of the things that we try to avoid in life, that we are afraid of doing or stop us from progressing forward in some way positively, every time we put an avoidance on that, it's negative effort. It's actually going to be harder to avoid the thing than it probably would just to do the thing. So speaking of doing the thing, I do these walks. I live out here real close to a school that has a nice walking track, and I come out here so much that I have my own place where I stand and do a stretch every day it's called a primal squat. And so I just stand here and squat for 3 minutes, but you know, that's kind of beside the point. But I wanted to show you this because I didn't realize how much of an impression I had made doing this thing over and over. But I have my own footprints in this in the grass here, so you can see these are my two footprints where I essentially come do the same thing every day. But as far as negative effort, trying to avoid what you have to get done is so much harder than just doing the thing. Like, it's super cold outside right now. My hand is actually pretty cold, but I'm out here doing this because this is something that helps me move forward. And first of all, if I put negative effort in and I quarrel with myself about why I'm gonna go on this walk or why I'm not, because it's cold and because it's wintertime and the ground is kind of slippery, and you know, I'd have to go put on another extra layer of clothes, and it's a whole lot of work for me to go do this, and then I've got to come out here and, you know, have my face be cold and my hands are cold and whatever, to go for this little walk and go through this same motion that I've done so many times that I now have footprints locked in the grass at this school, because I have chosen to just do the thing. And that's what I wanted to show you guys today, is that even though I have chosen this over and over and over, I haven't seen astronomical differences in my physical health because I go for a walk every day. But what I do see is something we call second and third order consequences, right? First of all, this helps me realign my posture. So it loosens up all the muscles in my lower back. Secondly, it helps me stretch my legs. It gives me extra blood flow. It boosts my metabolism. It keeps me in a habit of routine. So it does a lot of things besides me just coming for a little walk. But the second order and third order consequences, and this is where negative effort really kills a lot of things in the world, is the consequences it has for the people around you. And so for myself, when I go for this walk, I feel better. And when I feel better, I'm better to the people around me. And they get a better version of me because I spend that little bit of time doing that little thing instead of all the negative effort of, oh, I'm not going to do it and I'm just going to sit around and play Candy Crush on my phone or something stupid, right? I'm going to go out and just do my little walk, brave the little bit of cold, do my squat in the same place that I've done so many times because I've got now feet prints ready for me. And when I get back, I feel better. My body is in a better state, which puts my mind in a better state, which then I interact with my family better, the people that I'm around. Everything just goes better because of that one little thing, okay? If we take this back to the example of children that don't want to take a shower. Yeah, they're spending all this effort fighting you and saying I don't want to, and kicking their feet and crawling up the stairs and whatever extra thing they can try to do to get out of doing it until a little bit later. Negative effort sometimes can be called procrastination. It's putting off something that we have to get done for whatever reason, okay? Negative effort is just when you go to the extreme and actually put effort into going away from that versus just not doing it, right? So the thing that happens though is now I'm upset and my wife's upset and my son's upset because he's around this environment, and we're just like, okay, this is over and over and over every single day that we do this, and we're still getting the same thing happening and blah blah blah. So it like affects the energy and the emotions of the people around you. And then when we finally get you to take a shower, yeah, you're in the shower and you have a little bit of chance to kind of calm down or whatever, but the people around you are still affected. And that negative effort kind of plays on longer than the instance in which you actually are putting out that effort. And so the turn up of that is if you simply realize what you have to do and recognize that as a priority that needs to be done within your day, and you simply go do the thing, it is amazing how easy it really is. And whether this is something that is going to be actual effort for you, or if this is going to be something that costs you money or takes some of your time, regardless of what value you have to give to make this thing happen, what you get back in your own personal value is irreplaceable in the routine and the consistency in your world, first of all, but secondly, how you feel and what that does for you and what you project out to the rest of the world becomes so much better because you just did the thing to improve yourself. Negative effort can be seen also as avoiding something that you know will help you improve because it's easier not to. And this is a classic example in health and fitness, for example. I could say I'm not going to go for a walk out there because it's cold. I'm avoiding the thing that I know is going to help me, right? But secondly, jobs. If you have a job that you don't enjoy, that's like the most everybody, right? If you have a position that you don't enjoy, that you spend a lot of time in, that's negative effort. It's easier to stay in that job that you don't enjoy than it is to spend an hour after work pursuing some passion and figuring out what makes you tick and what makes you excited to get up in the morning, and figuring out how you can become so good at that thing that you actually enjoy that you can learn how to monetize that as a way to move away from the job that you don't run, right? But this takes a lot of time and money and effort and, just consistency. To become good at something and move away from a job and get paid for that, you got to put in some dues, some time, money, and effort to really figure it out and become good at that. Okay, so getting started now is also such a big thing because there's so many things that take time to really make it happen, to really see that improvement. You have to work out consistently over time. You have to eat well over time. You have to sleep correctly multiple nights in a row. You have to do a lot of things to get your physical health improved. Credit score, bank account amounts, like all this stuff takes time to improve, and it takes consistent avoidance of negative effort, just doing the thing that you know needs to be done at the time that it needs to be done, instead of taking any consistent path that you're already doing that's gotten you the results that you have, whether it be staying in the job that you absolutely hate and you dread going to every day, and that brings you home upset and stressed out, and projecting that to your family and the people that you talk to, because you absolutely hate your job, but it's something you feel you have to do and you're stuck in for the money or whatever reason that you're still there, or you're in the same health aspect that you were all last year, because every single day you have chosen to avoid the thing that you know is going to help you improve and have a better world. And when you make those choices, not only does it help you personally, but it gives you a better projection to everybody else around you, which I promise people will thank you for. If you're somebody that's upset on a daily basis and you're stressed and you focus on negative drama and you talk about bad things that go on in your world and you watch the news and all that kind of stuff, like, you're gonna project that out when you interact with other people. So for me, the meaning of life is to be happy. And if you're not happy, find out what makes you happy, because not only is that going to improve your world, but everybody else around you is going to get a better version of you.